Welcome to Crushing Kayfabe. My name is Jason Garish, and thank you for tuning in. Got a lot going on in the wrestling world. Got a lot going I should say, in the world period. But let's start off with my Raiders once again. Really disappointing, horrible defeat. They've got something in common now with AEW. Now they've got a ton of talent and real poor management. So that sounds like AEW to a T. Once obviously Jacksonville Jaguars owned by Tony Khan, and I think with his father too, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, like I say, AEW connection there, so you can kind of tie it into the wrestling world. Before I get too far, I thank my wife for getting the beautiful Christmas ornament there. It doesn't really show up too well on screen, but if you enlarge that a little bit and zoom in, it's actually just not just, but it's an old antique truck, which I love. It's a red truck with Christmas tree in the background in the middle of like a forest type thing, which I really think is really awesome. So once again, thank you to her. And before I get too crazy, tomorrow is our anniversary, so thank you to my beautiful wife tomorrow for our anniversary. Let's see what else right off the top of my head. My crooked Nashville jigsaw puzzle. I still haven't straightened that out. Been a busy week, so everyone who has a kid in the family knows how that is. Busy week for wrestling, obviously. A lot of stuff going on. But hey, since we kind of started off with a AEW comment, why don't we go right into Dynamite? Had a big reveal on Wednesday night with Jeff Jarrett making his appearance on AEW television. Cracking Darby Allin in the head with his guitar. Aligning with Jay Lethal, which kind of, I guess, makes sense because they did team up, if I'm not mistaken, with the final quote unquote wrestling match for Ric Flair. So I guess that makes sense. I mean, they are affiliated with each other and have been affiliated, kind of since TNA, which AEW is starting to look more and more like. I'm not even gonna mention the wrestler who was dressed up as Sting, quite frankly, because I can't even remember who that was. I don't even remember the gentleman who was dressed up as Sting. I keep seeing this thing on my camera. It's just like a relic shirt. This is my Tractor Supply shirt. So I was like, is that dirt? Is that something on my shirt? No, it's part of the design. It was like, it looks like hell on camera, I think. But oh well. The rest of it looks pretty cool, and I love this color. I love red. So and Tractor Supply is one of my favorite stores. So there's that. Yeah, back to AEW. I'm terribly sorry. I got distracted by that for 1 minute, but I'm still getting used to this whole video thing. It's a little unnerving sometimes, just kind of talking to myself now. Now I'm not talking to a wall or a digital audio interface. I'm talking to my own reflection, basically. But yeah, Jeff Jarrett makes an appearance. This could be a good thing. It really could be if used properly. It could be a very good thing. Jeff Jarrett has been in the business for a very long time. He's obviously brought up in the business by his father. It could be a good thing. He's got a lot of experience. The problem is they've got a lot of people on the roster with a ton of experience. They've got Jake Roberts, Arn Anderson, Sting. They've got a lot of people that they underutilize. Mark Henry, Big Show. The list goes on and on and on, and they don't use them properly. So could this be good? I hope so. I know he's got a position within the company other than being just a wrestler and on-air personality. So here's praying that that works. I mean, the thing that kind of bothers me is he doesn't seem to be locked in for very long with organizations. He overstayed his welcome with TNA. They just booted him out of WWE, out of his position there for whatever reason. I don't know. So we'll see. He's been sober a long time. He's been clean a long time. Here's hoping that he stays that way. And because God knows, Tony Khan would probably make me start drinking again. I've been straight edge for about 18 years, and I think I would probably go nuts and and start drinking again under his watch. But Jeff Jarrett, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I'm hoping that he sticks around and helps out. Some of TNA's best years, directly involved Jeff Jarrett. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. I'm not afraid to admit that I was a big TNA fan. And he did focus on the homegrown talent a lot more than he did the old WCW and WWE guys, which is what AEW needs to start doing, and building their guys more up on the par and level of these WWE guys. Otherwise, they're always going to look like an inferior product. And that was something I brought up in previous podcasts. So if they don't do that, then they're doomed from the start. So I don't know if you can hear it right now, but there's a train going by right now. So if you can, I'm sorry, but usually these dynamic mics are awesome at getting rid of sound such as that. That's why I use them. I don't use my condenser mic. I kind of explained that last week with that. But hold on one second. This light is really bugging the heck out of me. That's way too bright, and it actually just got worse. I might have turned that off even. It's really bad. I don't know if that's even worse right there. Wow. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to bear with it unless I shut it off entirely. There we go. That's a whole lot better. Wow. Yeah, that was much too harsh. I apologize for that. I've got somewhat of a 3-point lighting system with a glamour light in front of me, so there's a lot of lights to take care of in here right now. Trying to draw on my years of experience in television and whatnot, and live shows, and make this look a better looking product. But hopefully that appears a lot better. I'm gonna leave that thing shut off for future. We had this happen, which, like I said, could be a very good thing. We had a vignette with Malachi Black in the House of Black. So that kind of puts the rumors of him being Uncle Howdy to rest, or him being involved in the Y6 and WWE. Obviously, he's still signed to AEW. I like the vignettes. I like them. But I like almost anything that Malachi Black does. I really like him. And he's been kind of jobbed out, to say the least, in AEW, but hopefully they continue to grow his character. Let's see. It was great seeing Brian Cage involved once again in the main event versus Samoa Joe for the ROH Television Championship. Good match. Good, awesome seeing him out there. I wish they'd utilize him more. He's a guy that they need to put a rocket ship on. His time's got to run out. He's getting older, and I'd really like to see him get a major push. He looks great on camera. Has a decent promo, and just if they're gonna quote unquote compete with WWE, he's gonna need to be an important factor in that. I think guy can wrestle. He can move. He can do a lot. So definitely please keep him on TV, please. Oh, hey, here's what I take notes in. My wife made me buy this. This was at Ollie's, dirt cheap. I love this thing. This thing is so great. Got some great pictures in there. Right there. And you can see my notes in there. Like I said, even has Moxley as Dean Ambrose. And really good. Really good. I'm glad my wife forced me into buying this. But I am really happy I got this. Great notebook. Great deal. So onwards onto WWE. Crown Jewel, or as I like to refer to it as blood money. But all joking aside, it's kind of interesting with the Saudi event. I was really getting frustrated with this event. I really wasn't liking where they were going with this. A lot of it was kind of mediocre. Until I would have to say until the main event. There was some good good matches. There were some awful things that happened on here. The match between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar really disappointed me. But and I hate to say this, everything that they interact between each other disappoints me, except for that brawl they had. Um, I really like both these guys, and I really wanted to see these two beat on each other. And the problem is, I think neither one of them is a ring general. Neither one of them can orchestrate a match because, like Brock and Bobby Lashley, both have had their best matches with guys like the likes of AJ Styles, etc., that can go in there and orchestrate a match. Um, and I think the problem is neither one of them can do that because there was a lot of power moves and no real connectors or story between them, unfortunately. So you got to see some well executed, really cool looking moves, but there was absolutely nothing in the match itself that told a story. And makes me wonder if they were just out there collecting a paycheck or they just didn't know. Maybe that's what they thought they were out there doing. Maybe that's what they wanted for the Saudi crowd. I don't know, but it didn't entertain me. So, and that was a major letdown because I want to see these guys go at it so badly. I want to see these guys have a great wrestling match really badly. And the fact that they can't get this done frustrates the heck out of me. Take another sip of water there. It really does because these guys are absolutely insanely talented athletes, incredible athletes, both of them. I mean, both Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar are freaks of nature. I mean, really, just once in a lifetime athletes. And the fact that they can't orchestrate a match and get it together is incredibly frustrating. And really, because my expectations were so high and just a horrible job between this. Really, just didn't tell any story whatsoever. So that was real disappointing. And the Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross match was really disappointing to me too. And that kind of goes on that same level. I like both these guys, and I don't understand why Karrion Kross just having his creative mind and intellectual side can't put together a match that's interesting. I mean, the first time they met in Extreme Rules, I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it. It was a slow paced, good match, but this was just they went to the Mace gimmick again, which in my opinion, they just went to the well way too often with that. It's like they couldn't think of anything else. I don't know if that was a request from the Saudis. I mean, if it was, here's the first thing. Please stop having the Saudi people dictate your booking, please. This is the thing. I almost didn't want to watch this event. I kind of had to because I do the podcast and whatnot. But the thing that really bothers me is it really isn't Triple H booking this thing. It really is, who the organizers, the event in Saudi Arabia, they're kind of booking this thing. They say who they want, what they want, and that's what the WWE delivers. And the amount of money they're getting, I completely understand why they're doing this. A lot of times, though, this doesn't create an entertaining product, at least for me personally as a wrestling fan. They throw a lot of stuff together, they throw a lot of storylines together, and immediately afterwards it's over because it doesn't fly with Western audience, doesn't fly with Western fans. So I dread this event every year. I'm sorry, I really do. Because of that fact. They want to parade out the big stars, and it's a big nostalgia thing too, because every year who they dig up Goldberg, Undertaker, whoever. Undertaker is retired now, so they won't bring him out. I'm willing to bet they've requested Hulk Hogan on these things. It just like I say, it's a big event, and I one of my friends had said this makes me question whether or not the people in Saudi Arabia even watch the product, or are they getting a product that's from the past? It kind of, or are the organizers of the same age group as myself and they want to see the nostalgia, which oddly enough I don't want to see. I grew up watching Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart. All those guys love Bret Hart. Even as a kid, I could tell Hulk Hogan sucked, but it was still, he was huge at the time. But I could watch it. Guys like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, and tell Ricky Steamboat, and tell that those guys could go. And it made me question, even at a very young age, why Hulk Hogan had the belt. It's like, well, he's big, he's strong, he can, his moves are more impactful, but I kind of digress, because that's what I think they want is nostalgia. And they shell out a ton of money, absolute ton of money, and it shows. I mean, they put in a great event. From a production standpoint, it looks great, but the storytelling is kind of absent. And I think that's because it's kind of thrown together. Oh, we got to do this for Saudis, and then kind of move on because we have a ton. They're throwing a ton of money at us, and that's my opinion. That's what I think is happening. And Triple H kind of has to kowtow to that. And I understand why. Because you've got shareholders to answer to too, which I'm a shareholder, but I'm different from a lot of the other ones. I want to see a good product. I'm also a fan. I'm not just looking at the price of my stock and going, hey, great job. No, entertain me also. And I probably shouldn't even admit that in the air because I don't, doesn't make me biased against AEW. Absolutely not. I want to see AEW succeed. I want to see it do better. I want to see it thrive, and I want to see it around for years. Do I think that's going to happen? No, because of idiotic management. But I still enjoy the product because they've got some tremendous talent on there. Some of my favorite wrestlers are in the AEW, and that competition drives up the stock value, it drives up the price, it drives up the quality of the product. Just look at the Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWE. There was no other time where ratings were better for wrestling in general. They're pulling fives. It's hard to even pull a one nowadays in the Nielsen ratings for wrestling. So competition is a good thing, to sum it up. So where was I? Crown Jewel. I almost called it Royal Crown. Let's see. The women's matches, which they featured more, that's one thing that I really was grateful to see. Thank you, WWE, for featuring more women's matches in Saudi. That makes me feel a lot better that times are genuinely changing, and the chauvinistic and misogynistic views of those people are hopefully changing also. So kudos to them for featuring the women a lot more on this event. I was happy to see that. The Damage Control versus Asuka and Alexa Bliss wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't anything that was great, but they ended up putting the titles back on Damage Control. That lasted short time. Wow. And I think once again, I think that was a request from the organizers of the event to put the belts back on Damage Control. So why did they take them off of Asuka and Alexis Bliss in the first place, or put them on, I should say? Makes me wonder if one of their requests was a title change. So they had Asuka and Alexis Bliss be the interim champions, the women's tag team champions. That's my guess. That's the only guess I have. That's the only logical explanation I could come up with, because they had them for what, less than a week, I think. So that's the only logical explanation I can come up with on that front. Not a bad match, not horrible, not exactly thrilling, but enough of Asuka. And to make things good. I I still really don't care about Damage Control. I'm sorry, and I know that Io Sky and whatnot are great wrestlers. Dakota Kai are great wrestlers, but they're not showcasing their personalities in this since they've come to WWE. It's primarily been Bailey that's been the vocal piece for them, and I got mixed emotions about that. I really do. Bailey can be really good. She could be good as a heel. I almost feel like Bailey's too nice of a person to be a heel. I hate to say that. Um, she hasn't really sold me yet. She's been a good heel at times. She's been a really good heel at times, but she hasn't really sold me this time around. Kind of awkward. The match between her and Bianca Blair wasn't bad. Wasn't bad this time around. They actually did a decent bout there. You knew there wasn't going to be a change of titles there. And thankfully they kept on Bianca Belair. Sorry about that. For some reason, my mouth is really dry today. Which is weird because it's raining currently, so I don't know what the deal is with that. But yeah, I mean that was one of the fewer highlights. Like I said, I'm glad they're showcasing women talent much more in the Saudi events. That kudos to them. It's still kind of weird seeing them cover from head to toe in their costumes, in their outfits. It's a little weird, but like I said, I'm glad to see them focusing more on the women's talent because it tells me that times are genuinely changing, and I like that. So that was good. Well, so we have Almost versus Braun Strowman. Not horrible, not horrible. It's kind of, you kind of got what you expected. Two guys beating on each other, two very large men beating on each other. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible at all. And you knew that that was something that they requested. So it wasn't horrible. It was a decent enough match. You know, I'd almost say it was better than the Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar match. It was relatively short. Did what it had to do, and two guys. Those are two guys that are giants that beat on each other. Hey, there you go. There's not a lot in their moveset. I don't expect to see insane mat wrestling from these two guys. I do kind of expect that from Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, though. Both of them were national champions. Both of them fought in mixed martial arts. Both of them have a great ground game, ground attack. Why can't they put a match together? It's disheartening to watch those two. Jeez, getting back to the other matches. I'm trying to think what else. That's how lackluster some of the other matches were. I can't even remember them. You had AJ Styles versus Dominic, which I didn't even get a chance to watch. I apologize for that. I'm sure if AJ Styles was involved, though, it was a great match because that guy can get in there with the broom handle and make it look amazing. Just one of the greatest wrestlers. I'm a fan, so I probably a little bit. My opinion's probably a little bit jaded, but I really do like AJ Styles. Always have, been a fan of his for a long time. So like I said, I'm sure he made Dominic look good, and they ended up coming out of that. Was that a 3-way? Wow, I can't even remember. I'm gonna have to look that up. That was I might be wrong on that. Hold on one second. I apologize. Bear with me one second. Like I said, I apologize. I didn't get to see the match, so I need to kind of rehash myself here. Let me walk back a little bit here. I apologize. It was the OC versus Judgment Day. I'm sorry. It wasn't just AJ Styles. Like I said, I didn't see the match, so but I did AJ Ripley and Rhea, of course, was the game changer in that. So she's been the absolute VIP of that faction. She's been vital to that group and been doing her best work, I think. Um, wow, I apologize for mixing that matchup. I couldn't even remember. Like I said, I didn't get to see it, so but I'm sure he made everyone involved look amazing. The tag team championships, Usos versus Brawling Brutes, real physical match. Did the I think they did the twin magic in that or something. I noticed some confusion of who was the legal man in the ring, which cracks me up because with the different hairstyles, those two look nothing alike now almost. I mean, you could tell they're brother, but you're an idiot if you can't tell one from the other in the ring. But they defeated the Brutes as we kind of knew, and it was a brutal match, which we kind of knew would be. So, Usos a great tag team. I got nothing against them. I really don't, excuse me. What else am I thinking here? I'm just kind of going down the list. Nothing else pops back out at me. Actually, one thing does. We had an appearance from Bray Wyatt. I shouldn't, which great promo from Bray. Once again, doing some incredible work. I love Bray Wyatt. I really do. I love his promo work. Not such a big fan of his in ring. His in ring stuff is kind of paint by numbers. Very competent wrestler. Not going to say anything bad about his wrestling ability, but has always had issues putting good matches together. Once again, kind of needs to be a better storyteller in the ring, but his creative mind, his amazing promos, and his creative genius kind of overpowers that and kind of makes up for it because his stuff outside of the ring is incredible. I find incredibly enjoying. Had that segment on SmackDown and where he kind of snapped at a delivery guy. He said he was tired of being interrupted. I get that. I get tired of being interrupted myself. I don't threaten to kill a delivery man over it, but it made the guy apologize. So we're seeing a little bit of a nastier kind of heel turn with Bray, and the entire time watching that SmackDown backstage promo, I kept thinking to myself, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" I was having flashbacks to Seven at that point. I was like, "What's in the box? I need to know what's in that box. I really do." And they never revealed it. That bothers me. I was like, I really need to know what's in that box. And of course, he was interrupted again by Uncle Howdy. I keep wanting to say Captain Howdy because every time I hear that Uncle Howdy, I just think back to the Twisted Sister song. And I should say songs because he was a character in Street Justice too, I think, and in the character in Strangeland, the movie that Dee Snider did, and he actually played Captain Howdy, the character. So every time I hear Uncle Howdy, I just flash back to that and think about that. Real good guy, Dee Snider. At least, I mean, I don't agree with a lot of his views on the political front, but I met him once and he was awesome to me. So you can't see it right now in front of me, but I got his book in the back. Shut up and give me the mic. But he was a DJ here in, well, I shouldn't say here. Wow. Back in Connecticut, he was DJ in Hartford for a while until the station decided to change their format and then change it back again. But yeah, like I said, I got the opportunity to meet him once, and he was a good guy to me. I don't know how he's interacted with others, but he was a good guy there. But I keep flashing back every time I hear Uncle Howdy. I hear that name, I flash back to Captain Howdy, that character. So I don't know if that was an inspiration for this, or if that was or if they had no knowledge of that before. Maybe that's a nod to Dee Snider. I don't know. But I hear that and I hear Captain Howdy in my head when I hear Uncle Howdy. Lots of speculation on who Uncle Howdy is. Obviously, we've squashed the rumors that it might be Malachi Black because Malachi Black just shot a vignette for AEW and he's going to be coming back for AEW. So it's obviously not him. So the two leading I should say three leading candidates right now are Bray Wyatt himself, uh, Bo Dallas, his brother, or Barry Windham, who happens to be Bray Wyatt's actual uncle. And he did make some references in his Crown Jewel promo to his wrestling family. So whether or not that was something to throw you off the trail again, or if that's going to turn out to be Wyndham, we'll have to see. Don't know, but it could be any one of those. I mean, during the great promo at Saudi, Bray Wyatt, or I should say, Uncle Howdy, reference once, putting the mask on, don't take it off. So is that him? Is that Bray under the mask? Don't know. And once again, great promo, real intriguing. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Great job. It was one of the highlights of Crown Jewel. One of the things that made it worth sitting through 3 hours of a whole lot of mediocrity along the way. But it was a great promo. I thought it was a real good promo. That kind of brings us to the main event. Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the tribal chief. This match had no. I'm probably gonna catch a lot of flack for saying this, and I'm sorry. I haven't listened to any other podcasts as I didn't want them to influence my opinion regarding this, but this match had no business being this good. I've never been a big Roman Reigns fan. I've never liked his in-ring work. I don't know how they managed to do it, but they told a compelling story, and I really enjoyed it. A little bit of nonsense toward the end with Jake Paul coming in. You knew that was going to kind of happen. The Usos with the whole thing going on. I still enjoyed it. I don't know why. I really enjoyed this match. And like I said, I'm probably going to take some criticism for that. I'm probably going to get beat up a little bit in the media about that. But so what? I thought this match was really good. And this is a match that had no business being good. Given Logan Paul's inexperience and given Roman Reigns kind of limited moveset, there's no way that this should have been this good. But with the tools that they had been given to them, they in my opinion, put on a real compelling story. Did a great job. I really enjoyed this match. And like I said, I have no business enjoying this. Why would I like this? But Logan Paul is an extremely gifted athlete, and he has adapted to wrestling extremely quickly. It probably helps that he was an amateur wrestler, amateur wrestling experience, and he showed some amateur wrestling moves, which I absolutely love. I miss the guys like Kurt Angle and whatnot who could actually wrestle. Geez, when he was doing takedowns, and I was like, holy cow, actual wrestling moves. I love this. This is great. I mean, thank you. When you mix in the boxing element, this is what professional wrestling should be. And they kept your attention, they held tension, they told a story, they had a climax, they had an ending. And the only thing that I didn't really like kind of was the ending, because it felt kind of forced when Reigns hit him with the Superman punch, spear, boom, down, 1, 2, 3. I was kind of like, okay, there really wasn't much of a build to that, because Logan Paul had gone outside of the ring to help his brother Jake Paul and whatnot, so and help his entourage, all that. He did a crossbody flying over the top rope, kind of like a tope suicida, but was into a crossbody. And then once he got into the ring, obviously Roman Reigns had recovered. Boom, him with 2 moves. It's done. That's about the only thing I didn't like about that. But I could kind of buy it, and surprise moves, boom, bang, you're done. Everybody gets sucker punched, and that's kind of what happened. Logan Paul got sucker punched, but man, he told a compelling story. Him and Reigns told a compelling story, and that's what wrestling's supposed to be. I don't know if it's the tutelage of Paul Heyman that is making Reigns somehow be good all of a sudden. And that's the funny thing. He still has the same move set. He still has kind of the same. He's gotten infinitely better on the mic. I mean, he's still, still has some flaws, but still is amazingly better compared to when he was a baby face. He was horrible on the mic as a baby face. And it's working. The whole bloodline thing, unfortunately, I couldn't bring Sami Zayn. I don't know if well, let's put it this way. I don't think why take the chance? Obviously, and I think Sami Zayn has a valid reason for not wanting to go. I kind of missed him a little bit, but the storytelling and all the elements really made up for it. And if Zayn would have been there, it would have been absolutely incredible. But I understand why he didn't make the trip, and I understand why he would take those. Sorry, my jaw started locking up. Take those precautions. Perfectly understandable. It's a hostile environment for him. Why would he want to be there? And why would he want to be there with their ancestral backgrounds? Why? So it makes total sense, and I'd rather see him safe and sound, obviously, and I don't think the Saudi people would appreciate him too much either. But he would have obviously propelled the storyline, the match, even that much further. I mean, the stuff they got going on with Bloodline, I really hope they keep the belt on Reigns for a while, because I find it entertaining. The stuff with Sami Zayn, stuff with the Usos, with Sikoa now. It's been great. And I'm not a Roman Reigns fan, but man, they built this up, and they built something really entertaining out of this whole deal. You had Paul Heyman to that mix, and how could it not be entertaining? They got something great here. And then Logan did his part and played the role of the underdog and the baby face, which kind of surprised me. He did it so well, because he kind of strikes me as a natural heel. I mean, he has kind of those arrogant attributes that kind of, even during this match, he was kind of wising off to Roman Reigns and getting his face a little bit. And typically some heel moves, maybe he'll work as a tweener. I don't know. Such an underdog that it automatically threw him into the role of babyface. And I mean, they threw this together just to have a marquee match and marquee names to kind of, I'm sure it's something that the Saudis requested too, but in my opinion, it worked beautifully. I thought it was great. I really did. And down to the entrance, I mean, not the entrance, but the vignettes with them coming in the limos and everything, it just built a big fight feel, built tension. And I might just watch it over again. I really enjoyed it that much. That match, it was great to me. I can't say enough. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm probably going to get roasted in the comments for that, but thoroughly enjoyed it. And that kind of brings today's show to an end. I really can't think of much else I have to cover. I mean, there's a ton of stuff I can cover, but within the confines of half an hour, I can't. Check us out, on crushingkayfabe.com, crushing with a K. Check us out check us out on Patreon. Sorry, Patreon, patreon.com. Do a search for Crushing Kayfabe, and help us out there. $1 a month. That's all you need. Keep the lights on. These suckers are expensive, they cost a lot. Keep these suckers on and help us do what we do, for just $1 a month. Help us out. Check out Lucky Lady Candles on Pinterest and on Facebook. Check out Hooked by Jalen. And if you're interested in buying some of your goods, check her out at Peggy's Attic and Then and Now Peggy's Attic in Milan, Then and Now in Trenton, downtown. Spot, no problem. Unfortunately, we won't be in Peggy's Attic for much longer. Just the demand was too much to keep up with. It's a much larger store, much more sales going through there. So kind of had to bow out of Peggy's Attic, which breaks my heart because I love the store. But still, up until December 1st, you can still buy our stuff there. So hurry on down and get some stuff at Peggy's Attic from us. Visit our booth and purchase. I got my CDs down there. I got some beautiful paintings, some beautiful artwork, some beautiful handcrafted items for my wife. So go on down to Peggy's while you still can. There'll still be going on. Unfortunately, our stuff won't be down there, but check them out. Check out Trenton Tabletop and Arcade, Tabletop Gaming and Arcade. They're renting out tables. You can rent them for the whole day. The owner is actually giving out chess lessons now. So I'm not giving out, but he's teaching chess lessons, I should say, not giving out. But ask him about pricing on that, and he'll be happy to teach you some chess. So go down there, play some Magic the Gathering, play some role playing games, play anything else you play on a tabletop. Go down there with some board games. If you don't have a place to meet up with some friends, go head on down there and rent a table, and you can have a group of people there for whatever costs. It's a cheap cost. Boom, you've had your whole day made right there, and you can play some Magic, play some D&D. Got my new D&D. I shouldn't say new, but my calendar. I got November up now for my calendar, so I changed the D&D. Strahd was on the last one, which was October. It's fitting for Halloween, but check them out, and give them some business and help the community out. If you don't like tabletop stuff, play some arcade games. They've got some awesome stand-up arcade games there. Play some arcade games. Have some fun playing that. It's been forever since I've been in arcade. My childhood was spent in the arcades playing not tabletop, but stand-up games. So go down there and tell them Crushing Kayfabe sent you, and help them out. And so prayers and thoughts obviously going out to Ukrainian people. Help them out with sending some support to Red Cross and UNICEF, and make sure that they get what they need, because they don't deserve what's happening to them, obviously. So prayers and thoughts go out to them. And hey, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in, and God bless. Be safe out there, everyone. All right, see you later.